Hi, it's Alexis. Welcome to this new video. In this video, I'm going to explain you how you can get unstuck, how you can stop ruminating about your ex. Whether you want to move on or whether you want to get back with your ex, I found that most of my clients at some stage, they feel that they are stuck. They feel that they are blocked. They have all these thoughts in their head and it's sort of preventing them from taking action and making good decisions. And as a result, they feel more anxious, they feel overwhelmed, and they feel like they're in a hole and they're really struggling to get outside of that hole. So that's what we're gonna look at today, how you can get unstuck, how you can stop ruminating about your ex. I'll tell you everything after the jingle.
IgetMyExBack.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.
So why do you ruminate? And I took those points from a study from the American Psychology Institute. The first thing is the reason you ruminate is you believe by ruminating you'll gain insight into your problem. You think that by asking yourself those questions, and you have the right, and I've been in your shoes, it's normal to have plenty of questions about that breakup, about your ex, why they took that decision, what should I have done, what should I do now. All those questions are sort of haunting your days and nights. And it's true that in a way it's good and healthy to ask those questions, but when you ruminate those questions too long, it can become a problem. And we'll see after this strategies for you to overcome those problems. So the other reason you ruminate is because you have a history of emotional trauma. So maybe from past relationship, maybe from your childhood, maybe from your parents, and you're bringing those trauma with you right now after that breakup. The third one is ongoing stress. A breakup is very stressful, and therefore when we are stressed, what we do, we think negatively, we think about the worst. And sometimes it's very hard because it can't be controlled. And again, we look at strategies on how you can control those emotions. The other thing I want to highlight is whenever we ruminate, it's because sometimes we are chasing immediate reward versus long-term reward. An example, radio silence or no contact. You know, if you watch my video, you know, if you watch other coaches' video, you have to do no contact. But it's really hard because there's a conflict within yourself between I'm craving for knowing what my ex is up to. I'm craving for that connection. I want that reward. I want to cope with that anxiety, and I feel like if I get in touch with them, I'll get that instant gratification, that instant dopamine rush, right? And it's not the right way to do it, because the long-term reward is to do a proper no contact for a few weeks to really get yourself and your ex in the right state of mind to get back together. And because you have those conflicts in your head, you're ruminating. Should I text her? Should I, it's been a month that I've been in no contact. Should I text her? Should I email her? Should I call her? And you're right to have those questions, but again, it's how you can use those questions but take action, and that's key, and that we're going to see afterwards. The good thing, and it's interesting because most of my clients are like that. I don't know why, but it seems that there's a similar trait that people who seek help or who have those thoughts are high achiever, sometimes high potential people, really smart people, basically, perfectionists who really want to maximize the outcome. And they have so many questions in their head that is overwhelming. And that's why sometimes they think they need a coach just because they need to filter out all those questions in their head. And I think if you're watching this video, if you're trying to learn on YouTube about your breakup, maybe you're the same person, maybe you recognize yourself as having all those questions and wanting those answers. It is great to have those questions. It is great to seek for answers, but be careful if you have so many questions that it's preventing you from acting and making the right decision. So I list in the following slides strategies to stop ruminating about your ex. Strategy number one, and it's the common one that you can see online from other coaches, and you'll see, I guess this one, there's like 5 others. I think I'm the only one sharing the others. So distraction, sports, social, new hobby, watch movies, amazing YouTube channels like this one. And by the way, if you like the video, don't forget to click on like, it does help me a lot. Drinking, getting hammered, all this kind of stuff. And as you can see, I listed and mixed good distractions with bad distraction. And I've done a video recently about that. Try to focus on distracting yourself on healthy habits and habits that will help you grow. So again, it's the difference between immediate reward and long-term reward. Watching Netflix, it's really helping you craving for dopamine, and you just have this instant gratification of watching something or playing video games. Now, if you play video games for 4 hours, how does that help you in your life? Right? Now, if you switch, if you swap these 4 hours with 4 hours of workout, what's the outcome? The outcome is maybe you'll be in better shape, you'll feel better, you'll feel more energized. Okay, so really think about those activities. I'm not saying don't watch videos, don't watch Netflix, don't play video games, but it's really how in your day, what are the activities that are distracting you, but also helping you to move forward. And obviously, self-development should be a huge part in your life right now in order to grow from that breakup. Strategy number 2 is to question your thoughts. And again, I think I'm the only one online sharing and coaching my clients on that, because I have this certification in hypnotherapy and in NLP as well. It's really how you can challenge your thoughts, how you can really look at those thoughts, you know, with another pair of eyes. And that's what we do in coaching is, would someone think or say the same thing about the situation? Also challenge those thoughts like, okay, I'm having those voices in my head. How does that help me? Maybe list down, keep a journal of, okay, I've learned this and this and this. And once it's listed, there's no question re-asking those questions, re-enacting those questions in your head. They're written down and they're here. And you won't have to do the process again of ruminating. And again, it's a process that is something sometimes we're struggling to control. So maybe list them down. They'll be on a piece of paper. And once they're out of your head, in a way, it's easier. Strategy number 3, you have to boost your self-esteem. The reason you're ruminating is because also you don't have the confidence that you can make the right decision. So, and the thing is, after a breakup, it's totally normal to feel really low, to have a really low self-esteem. I've been there, and it's awful feeling that that rejection, feeling that our value is actually, we thought that we had that connection, we built something, we had plans with that person, and out of a sudden, we're nothing. We have no one. We're just lonely, and we have zero value. And so you have to acknowledge that in order to get back with your ex, or even if you want to move on, you have to build up your self-esteem. So the tip how you can do that is to really, and it's a basic, obviously it's very high level. It could take years, not years, but hours of coaching and lessons on how you do that. But basically you start with what you're good at. If you're not sure about what you're good at, ask your best friend what you're good at and maybe master that skill. Maybe it's about like you had that hobby, or you were really good at, or you loved cooking, I don't know, you love cooking. So why don't you focus all your attention and energy to learn a new skill in cooking, you know? You like cooking savory meals. How can you maybe learn about sweet meals and cakes, and you can do amazing cakes and use your creativity and start from what you love, start from your strengths. And by growing from this, your self-esteem will grow as well. So my tip is, rather than trying to find other things, trying to challenge yourself and maybe step way too far outside of your comfort zone, start from yourself, start from your strength and expand from it. Strategy number 4 is to make a plan. And actually, interesting story is that I had the idea of this video this morning when I had my sports class. So make a plan. Of course, if you want to achieve a goal, if you want to do something, you need to have a plan, outline what you need, stick with it. So once you say, okay, I'm going to do this, you stick with it. Because if you go back and forth, that's ruminating. And again, it's preventing you from moving forward and taking action. The reason I had this idea of how can I stop my clients ruminating? I felt it this morning. I had a boozy dinner yesterday and I didn't feel like going to the sport today. But I thought, okay, I'm going to commit myself. I wrote a text to my PT and said, like, okay, I'm going to show up tomorrow morning. So just by this action, I was a bit accountable and I knew I didn't want to let him down. So even though I didn't feel like it, I showed up in the morning at the class. And in the moment, I was like, I really don't want to do it. I feel like I'm a bit hangover. There's a bit of booze in my vein again, in my system. But I went for it. And in the middle of it, I remember like at the beginning it was like really tough. And as I went through the routine and the exercises, I felt better. And I felt better physically, but I felt better about myself because I pushed myself in doing something. But more importantly, when I was there, I didn't have to overthink, what should I do? He was just like, 10 reps of burpees. And then I was like, without thinking, 10 reps of burpees. And then you go run, back and forth. Without thinking, I went running back and forth. And I thought, if I would have gone on my own for, a run or working out, I would have never done all those stuff because I would have listened to my body, listened to, oh, I'm tired, listened to my, oh yeah, I feel like I need to eat, I need to have coffee. Once I was there, I was not thinking, I was not overthinking. I was really focused on something. And in a way, it's a bit like when you get order from the army. So you have to find the right balance between the guy who gets shot at in the army, yelled at the army, saying like, and in a way brainless, with you right now, who's always asking a lot of questions, but it's preventing from taking action. So find the right balance between these two extremes to take action and have that plan and take and do the right things. Obviously, when I say take actions, because now we start from a place where the esteem is really low, the motivation is high, maybe, but the energy is very low. Take baby steps. But the key here is to move forward. So rather than, again, I'm going to use the example of the gym. Of course, today I didn't give 100% of my energy because I was not in the mood. But at the end, I was like, well, it's definitely better than if I haven't done it. So all this kind of stuff, I've done it. I was there, I showed up, and I felt good about that. And I was like, okay, maybe it was not the best session I did in my life, but I did it, and it's better than nothing. So really acknowledge that and embrace and celebrate any steps you're making, even if it's a tiny step, okay? Strategy 5. Try meditation hypnotherapy, so you can read about that. But basically, when you have those thoughts, it's because you're projecting yourself in the past, in your future. And it's really hard for the mind to be at those places at the same time. And this is how people get burned out, depressed, anxious, because they have these thoughts from the past, from the future. And meditation hypnotherapy really helps you to be in the here and now. Meditation can help you really empty your mind. Hypnotherapy is more about how it can empower you, how you can feel less overwhelmed, because it's very typical for you after a breakup to feel overwhelmed. Think of it. If you were a monk, would you be ruminating? Would you be overwhelmed by those emotions? Well, no. So do what it does, do what they do. Do some meditation, try hypnotherapy, find someone. I do hypnotherapy with some of my clients. Try someone that would work for you. Try these things out and see how it works for you. Strategy number 6 is to talk with someone. You have to verbalize, you have to ventilate, to vent. Ventilate? I don't know. You tell me in the comments how you say ventilate or vent. All this kind of stuff. Find a good friend where you can share those thoughts, where you can bounce ideas. The thing is, he or she would provide you an outside perspective. And this is how you can break those rumination. Find a therapist or a coach. The reason it's better than a friend, of course, he or she would provide you an outside perspective, but they also provide you an extra thing on how you can address the root cause of the problem, the source of the problem, the source of the rumination. those emotions, those thoughts, where they come from. Because if you go to the source, obviously you can fix it more easily. Okay, so find someone that works for you, where you have a good fit. And of course, if it's me, I would highly recommend you to book a free discovery call with me, because I also assess whether it works both ways. You assess whether you want to work with me, and I do assess if I want to work with you. Like any coaching relationship, it needs to go both ways, and I'm assessing on my end if you're motivated, if actually I can bring value, because sometimes I feel like, well, you don't need me, or, well, you don't need me because you have to move on. So yeah, have that, if you're not sure about coaching, if it's not for you, or if you have any type of questions, don't hesitate to pick up your phone or your Skype, by the way. The link is in the description, and you can also contact me on WhatsApp. I try to respond to all the messages, so if I'm late, don't blame me, I'll reply, but it takes me a bit of time to catch up everyone. So the recap. It's okay to ruminate. Again, we mentioned that it's because maybe you're smarter than other people. Maybe it's good to overthink in a way. You're not stupid. You're not just a frog or a caterpillar or something. You're thinking, so it's good. That's great. But just for a bit. Thinking, then action. So it's really about action. And remember that thinking will not overcome that fear. Because you're scared, and it's fine to be scared. It's just an emotion. It's just an indication that something isn't right for you, right? It's fine. But it's by taking action that you're going to overcome that fear. And it's the best, and actually it's the only way to feel better. And that's what I do with my clients. I'm really action focused. You're watching my videos, so you have no knowledge. Now it's really how you can break that knowledge and take this into action. Take this into your life and progress and move forward. Also, remind yourself to set healthy expectations. Again, when you go on a diet, you don't say, I'm going to lose 50 kilos or 20 stones. I don't know how much it is in stone. You're just like, okay, this month I'm going to lose a little bit. Next month, a little bit. Really set healthy expectations, because again, we are starting from a very low place in terms of self-esteem. So baby step, as long as we go in the right direction. And last but not least is when you do that work, is have a strong support system. Whether it's a coach, whether it's a therapist, whether it's your best friend, it's really important to have that support system to feel loved and cared, to feel accountable, to feel that you're doing and making the right decision. Well, I hope with those tips, with those strategies, you'll feel that you can stop ruminating and make progress and take action, because you have this strength within you. It's just about how you can apply those tools to move forward. Overthinking is healthy again. Overthinking is a sign that you're smarter than others. So now you just stop, take action, trust the process, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I'll see you another time, and ciao, bye.
igetmyexback.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.